Today's August the 21st, 2024. Today I've got my cousin Randy and our good friend Tom Ownby. They're going to be here in a few minutes. We haven't seen each other in about 3 or 4 years. It's going to be really good. It's going to be a good reunion. These guys are really great guys. You're going to enjoy the discussion today.
I guess it's across the state or country or wherever.
Mostly here because most people.
I enjoyed the one with Mark Gravel. He's a good guy.
He seems like he's really passionate, doesn't he?
He's just a good guy as far as I've
Did you know him before?
Yeah, I've known him for a long time. And he always appeared to me. Did you know Mark Gravel?
Not really. I saw Eddie Cartwright on here. I had breakfast with him a lot, so I saw him and Doughball, some of those.
Yeah. Now, we're all related, and that gets complicated. Me and Randy's dad was my mother's brother.
Mm-hmm.
But you spell your last name different, right?
Yeah.
B-Y instead of B-E-Y.
Well, it starts there. It all had to start with some family feud up in the Smoky Mountains.
That's where they all came
They all
from, right?
lived up in there.
Yeah.
There's a lot from North Carolina, too.
And
Yeah.
the Ogles too, right?
Yeah. The oldest one the oldest Ownby that anybody knew about that traced is buried in
John Ownby, I believe.
Just down below Asheville.
Bat Cave, maybe?
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. I remember.
It's where he's buried. So it's all, I mean, at some point somebody got mad.
Were they from Germany or
England.
England.
As best I remember, yeah.
So is Rural Ownby related to you?
Who?
Rural Ownby? Aren't we related to Rural Ownby?
I don't know.
How's that?
It's distant.
I don't know him.
Dad used to call Rural his cousin, but I think it was like third maybe cousin, so that'd make Jim and Rudy, his boys, my, I guess, fourth, if that's right.
Isn't that funny that he had two boys named Jim and Rudy, and Roy had two boys named Jim and Rudy, and your two brothers are Tim and Tony, and we got a cousin named Tim and Tony, and they're brothers. Are they older than you or younger?
No, they're younger. They're 13 months younger than me.
Are they twins?
Mm-hmm.
Biological or how they
identical twins.
Identical. Did they look alike for a long time? I guess they still look alike, don't they?
It's funny. The day my father passed away, he could not tell one from the other. As far as I can remember anything, my mom and myself could tell them apart. They're like as far as I could see them. If I saw them from 100 yards, I could tell you which one was which.
Yeah. But your dad couldn't.
Never could. And some, like my mother's mother, my grandmother, they could mix her up every single day. She had no clue which one was which.
But y'all, we really don't know how we're connected, right? I mean, me and Randy did.
Not as, like I said, it had to be from some kind of family feud. Somebody got mad or something from.
On that family tree that Philip Ownby did many years ago.
Philip Ownby.
A guy named Philip Ownby. His wife was Miss Ownby, a teacher at Bradley. I was painting their house, and he had a big folder of work that he'd done for years. And in that, it went back to I think the first one might have been John Ownby, if I remember right, that came from, they either thought either England or the Scottish Highlands. They weren't sure which. And he had 5 sons. Now, I could be remembering some of this wrong because it's been a long time since I've looked at it. And one of those sons was his branch, and one of them was their branch. And it went from there. And so we were first cousins like 270 years ago. So that goes back a ways.
That's not that long.
Before the Revolutionary War, probably.
I know a lot of the Ownbys are buried at Lebanon Baptist Church Cemetery.
I think Ezra and Granville, Ezra, let's see. So you had me, well, actually Matthew, me, Dad, which is Joe, and then his dad was Walt Ownby, and then, no, his dad was Roy Ownby, and then his dad was Walt Ownby, and then Granville, and then Ezra, and I think there might be there's one or two of them up there at that Lebanon or New Friendship, Friendship maybe too. But I mean, there's a lot of generations just here in Bradley County, and I'm sure you probably got a few too.
You know, there was forever, when there used to be an actual phone book, there was like a page and a half Ownby's of the 3 different spellings just in the phone book.
But if you go back on that family tree, those names change. I mean, there's all kind of OWNBYs, OWNBY, OWNBEY. It just keeps changing on the family tree. And they say part of it could be from the census takers.
That's right. They might
those old mountain people didn't. The mountain people didn't spell that much, so they just wrote it how they interpret it.
I think that's a big part of it. It may not have been.
And I have heard that it was the feuding between the clans too.
I mean, that's usually how things happened. I'd heard like up in Greenbrier in the Smoky Mountains. Our folks came from there, and other folks that I know came from there. And they said there was the river forked. So there was a left-hand prong, a middle prong, and a right-hand prong. So that's how the mail people knew where to take the mail. This is way back, you know, before the Ownbys, whoever, before those people actually moved from the Smoky Mountains down to here when they was making a national park. You know, a bunch of people got kicked out of there. My wife.
I guess that's why that's one reason they came here, right?
Yeah, my wife's folks, some of her ancestors came from up there. When they was turning that into a national park, a lot of people lost their homes. Literally, just like, okay, you got to move out. Yeah. And like somebody had came down to Bradley County and set up homestead. More, I don't know how it all worked back then, and that's how.
Wonder if that was after the Indians. I wonder if that was before the Indians.
I would think so. It was after.
You'd have to think, because this was all Cherokee Nation.
Yeah.
It would have had to have been after 1838 or something.
Yeah, well, yes, I think it was after that. Absolutely.
Which is not that long ago in the scheme of things.
In like probably the early 1900s or whatever it was when people started moving from there because they had to leave. I don't even know what
I think this was a stagecoach stop. Is one reason that people stayed, because they stopped at Springs.
Yeah.
And when they stopped at the spring, they just stayed, and the next thing you know, there was a village.
There was probably a Burris charging admission. Wasn't
He probably built the bridge.
Yeah, you can stop here. She'll charge you 50 cents to stay or something.
Isn't it funny how things go? You know, it seems like a long time ago, but it's really not been that long ago. When was Joe born?
1937.
So, and Roy would have been born 20 years earlier, 25 years earlier, 1910.
He was the third youngest, so yeah, probably 25, 20. It's hard to, that's so far long ago.
You know, it's been, speaking long ago, first time I met Tommy, he gave me my first dip of Copenhagen. Do you remember that?
I bet it wasn't your last.
I mean, you don't remember it at all, right?
I mean, not specifically the first time we ever met. No, I mean, I was thinking coming out here, this discussion here is what, 40-something years in the making.
Well, you're right. You're right.
I mean, it was, me and Randy graduated in 1980. You graduated when?
84. But so y'all seem so much older than me at the time.
Well, you were just, I was saying earlier, you just kind of followed along with him.
Yeah.
And you were just kind of there.
I was just there.
There was like entire evenings. You didn't say 4 words.
No. But that was,
which is a lot different from nowadays. but I mean, it literally goes back. We're talking what, 1979, 1980.
Yeah.
When you started just run.
Yeah.
We were running around up and down 25th Street at McDonald's. It wasn't
we didn't have our cell phones back then.
No.
We all needed
Granny's Biscuits.
Yeah.
Remember that? Granny's Biscuits.
right next to Sweeney's
And
Barbecue,
you
but
gave
that's
me my
gone
first
too.
dip of Copenhagen. You literally don't remember.
No, good Lord, no. I've
I
killed so many
remember
brain cells since
I went
then.
into Hardee's there and threw up and threw up and threw up.
Did you really?
I threw up.
All because of me.
All because of that. I never will forget it. And then you gave me another one. By then I was hooked. Still dip it today.
You know,
today.
I'm like 2 years quit. I
Copenhagen?
quit dipping. Yeah.
Good for you.
How come?
I just decided it wasn't. I mean, at some point you got to stop all your bad or some of your bad habits. I ain't giving up all of them, but tobacco. I had got to a point where I was ready to quit, and I quit.
Was you dipping Copenhagen up to that time?
Oh yeah. I was like, I think I'd figured up. I quit after like 45 years of doing it and quit.
But why?
Well,
I mean,
I've said this about a lot. You know, people look at it as a bad habit, like smoking, like drinking, like whatever. If you want to quit, you can. If you don't truly want to quit, there's no point in wasting your time.
I heard a guy say that you'll do something when you decide to.
Exactly.
When you really decide
it's
to.
exactly that. If you decide, I chew this tobacco, I smoke this cigarette. If you decide that you really truly, you're at a place where you want to quit, that you can. If you just decide to. I found an alternative, which was this fake stuff that was made out of tea leaves, I believe it was.
Yeah.
And I used it for probably, I don't know, 6 months or so, and it just stopped completely.
Wasn't the same, is it? At Copenhagen has a distinct.
No, but I had decided that that's what I wanted. I wanted to quit it, and I mean, it had gotten so expensive anyway.
Yeah,
So,
it has gotten expensive.
do you still dip?
Oh yeah, I just spit one out before y'all came in.
That's funny.
Yeah, all because of you.
Sorry, old buddy.
Well, things have changed though, hadn't it, from back then?
Things are light years
What
different.
song do you remember was out during that era?
What song?
Yeah, what song comes to your mind?
I'll tell you one thing I remember. I thought about this not long ago. In some of our running around, I think Randy had I don't remember if it was a cassette or an 8-track of Alabama,
I've had both.
but the Alabama band had come out, and we
Yeah.
listened to that a lot.
A lot.
You remember?
Oh,
Do
yeah.
you remember that?
Yeah,
Did you
Tennessee
have it
River.
on a tape or something that we listened to when we was running around?
Well, I had tapes and cassettes because they changed as time went on, and then it wasn't long we had it. I don't remember if we had it in CD. I don't remember having
No,
a CD.
CDs come like way after
It was
all.
mostly 8 tracks, I believe.
Yeah,
8-tracks and then
Yeah.
cassette tapes.
Yeah.
I remember the Alabama band, and we always listened to like all kinds of different rock.
Oh, yeah,
and
right,
to
yeah.
this day,
listen to a lot of
to
Southern
this
rock.
day,
And,
I listen to a lot of Merle Haggard. I listen to a lot of like Guns N' Roses on the
Yeah,
other end. You know,
right.
just a lot of stuff in between there.
It's all the same
Because
type of.
we grew up in an era, in just my opinion, when we had a great variety of music and some really good stuff all the way around. You know, you think of the artists that are in our lifetime.
George Jones.
You start with George Jones. You start with Merle Haggard and Willie Nelson and Waylon on the country stuff, and
yeah.
you think of Elton John and me and my wife. One of the coolest things we ever did a couple of years ago, we went to New York and saw Billy Joel at Madison Square Garden. Just
it was good.
it was.
You know, and I didn't realize till-
But you start thinking of the artists, the musical artists that we've had just in our lifetime. Man, it's been a wide spectrum.
It's been a wide spectrum.
You think of Alan Jackson You think of Vince Gill. You think of the Eagles.
Credence.
We listen to a lot of Hank Jr. too.
A bunch of Hank Jr. Yeah,
That was like the mantra,
but
wasn't it?
I liked all of that.
Blackfoot, remember Blackfoot?
Yeah,
Leonard
yeah.
Skinner,
Leonard
38
Skinner.
Special. Yeah.
You think of all the artists
Running with the Devil. Who was that?
Van Halen.
Van Halen, that's right.
And a lot of those guys are dead now.
Some of them are still singing.
Some of them are still touring. Like he just said, Van Halen. Eddie Van Halen's gone.
Yeah.
Ted Nugent.
Yeah, Uncle Ted
Yeah.
for the conservative movement of
That's
America.
right, that's right.
By golly,
He is, isn't he?
Yeah, guns in America.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, he hadn't let up, has he, on that?
doesn't seem so. No, he's old. Heck, everybody we know is old now.
Who was the president then? You
Jimmy
remember?
Carter, Ronald Reagan.
I was about to say
Jimmy
Reagan.
Carter,
And maybe before Jimmy Carter. Who was it?
Nixon and
Nixon,
Ford.
yeah.
Nixon, Gerald Ford, Jimmy Carter, Ronald Reagan twice. Is that right? And then George H.W. Bush.
How does he know all this stuff?
I remember stupid stuff.
You have a good memory.
It depends. Sometimes I amaze myself, and then sometimes I can't. I often can't remember what I did 30 minutes ago. You know.
Yeah. Were you ever in the movies? Weren't you in the?
In the movies?
Yeah, or got asked to be on a Western movie
No, I don't.
when you were in Nashville working for a granite company.
No. How did you?
I've got to get my memory's better than yours is.
But it was funny and it was crazy and it was weird. I signed on with an agent in Nashville, Tennessee.
To do what?
Well, it never worked. I missed my window. This place that I went to eat lunch frequently. This guy, he comes up to me one day. I just randomly walked in there. I worked for a company. We were, where the National Fairgrounds is and the Speedway and all that. Mm-hmm. We were right behind it. There's this place down here, this great little meat and three cafe, and that's where I went every day for lunch if I was in Nashville, if I was in town, because I worked on the road all the time. This guy says, "Hey, this friend of mine owns this talent agent, and she's looking for a guy that could play the part of how did she say it, a biker bouncer, whatever." And I told her that I knew the guy. I walk into this talent agent's office because I thought, whatever. I walk in and I introduced myself and she said, "You're perfect." And I said, "Thank you." for some idiot looking guy that could play a biker or a bouncer or whatever, It was. I walk in like in work boots, jeans, a t-shirt, and a bandana on my head, and then I got like dirt all over me. And I signed, and she said that it would be like maybe for commercials or ads or magazine shoots or whatever, that like where somebody that looks this particular part, they could just like stick me in there. And I told her at the time, I said, "Okay, I work on the road, and if I'm in town, I'll be more than happy to help you. But this is when it was like they call us, 'Hey, we need you here. Can you be here tomorrow morning?' Blah blah blah." They called me twice, and I was like in Pennsylvania or something.
So your good looks got you the job.
No, I missed my window.
You had to work.
My look. We're not going to say good looks, but my look may have gotten me, and so therefore I said I missed my window. I was like literally this close to being famous twice, and it just.
So you were working. When she
Yeah,
called,
I was busy. I was like way off on the road when they called me.
Yeah.
And who knows? It might have been a beer commercial or a magazine something or whatever.
Marlboro.
Who
man.
knows? Yeah. And when they called, I wasn't in town. I couldn't be there. So I had a job. I didn't need another one.
Didn't you insulate boilers one time, or both of you? Didn't y'all both insulate boilers or something?
I worked for an installation company for about a year when I was 18. So
Didn't Tommy work for them too?
I don't remember that.
I remember we was at Hardy's one night and you'd gotten finished and you was eating a hamburger and you didn't say a word. I guess you was tired and all you did was said, boy, they got the right mix on this tonight.
About the hamburger?
The hamburger.
Really? We spent a lot of time up at that Hardee's. It was the one up on 25th Street, wasn't it?
Yeah.
That's where everybody hung out then. Your memory's way better than mine.
We had the loop from Hardee's to the old Walmart.
Old Walmart.
Yeah.
That was 25th Street was a loop that everybody rode. That's where you had to find anybody because you didn't have any way to.
There wasn't no
call
other
them
way.
any other way.
Did y'all? I've told people before. Did you two, between the times when we was running around out in town every Friday, Saturday night, and then later on you get married, you move on to do different.
Yeah.
I lost track of a lot of people.
I did too.
Oh, yeah, a lot.
Because it before cell phones.
You just didn't have no way of getting hold of. It wasn't like we was going to call each other. Anyway.
It never occurred to me to get his phone number or your phone number.
Well, that wouldn't have been.
Because you knew you was going to see him out, on Saturday night or whatever.
And then you turn around and you're 30.
And yeah, and I got married and life goes on. You get up and go to work every day. And I lost track of a lot of people in a stretch. And even some of them even passed away during that stretch.
Oh, yeah.
That you didn't even know nothing about. If you didn't hear about it from a friend telling you, hey, old so-and-so, he's doing this.
Or missed the newspaper.
Yeah.
Obituary.
Yeah.
Remember Pack Rat?
Yeah.
You used to run around with him a lot.
Yeah. Keith Collins. I still talk to him once in a great while. Once
a year?
Yeah, once or twice a year. Been out to his house a time or two. It just occurs to me that of how many people that we lost track of before cell phones. Because now you've got everybody's phone number. Everybody's
I've got people on my phone that are passed away.
Yeah.
I can't seem to take them off. I don't know why that is.
I've got a couple of those in mind right now, and it's kind of.
It just don't seem right, does it?
You can't arrive at a good time.
No.
At when is a good time to take them out? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm the same way.
I've still got some people's voicemail that passed away. I've still got them on voicemail.
Do you really?
Yeah, and I just can't seem to take it out.
It'd be hard, yeah.
Yeah.
I keep saving it until I get a new phone or don't know how to download it or something like that.
Technology.
Would you have done like you done, or if you had to go back, would you have gone into something different?
I don't know. I probably would have studied harder and see if I could have maybe got a little more education or something.
Got a better job?
Yeah, I mean, my first job was working on my uncle's dairy farm. The day after I graduated from Bradley High School, I started working on his farm. Donald J. Ownby, my cousin Donnie Ownby. I worked 7 days a week, basically. I'd be down there at 7 o'clock every morning, except on Saturday, Sunday, and I'd be there at 5 because I had to milk cows. I mean, and this, we were still running around some in this amount of time, but
I don't know where we got the energy. I think we all worked all the time.
Yeah, I wondered about that
You worked with Dad, and then you worked at what? Cook's? You worked at the
Red Food,
Chalet.
Chalet.
We all had jobs like.
What'd you do at the Chalet?
I was a bellhop.
Really?
Yeah.
Did Eddie own it then?
Yeah. No, he was the manager.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. at the chalet.
I was just 15. They couldn't pay me
You wasn't even legal, were you?
$2.85 an hour, I think.
Wasn't even legal.
But if we had it to do all over again, I'd probably just gone to school. You know, these people we went to school with that were dumb in kindergarten, dumb in grammar school, dumb in junior high, dumb in high school, dumb in college, and now they're doctors. They just win.
Yeah.
We could have gone.
I don't know that any of us could have made a doctor, but we probably could have had some kind of a degree that,
Gotten something.
I tell young kids that I'm around some young kids nowadays, and I tell them all, it's like, listen, it doesn't matter what you do, you need to send yourself in some direction where they need people.
Yeah.
There's so many kids nowadays that get a college degree.
I think trades are the new thing.
And they end up working at Food City or Walmart because there's no jobs
They say the way to make money is to find a need and fill it. And that's what you're saying.
There has to be a need. I mean, you think of your business that you do, if there's 4 guys and 3 of them do things and one guy's not necessary, he's not going to have a job very long.
No.
What does he contribute? What does he bring to the table to help Dee Burris Construction?
Yeah, that's right. You can't pay him. You can't pay him
if he's just standing around not doing anything.
Yeah.
You're
but nowadays, a college education, I don't know what it'd get you, unless you wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer.
In debt.
Just in debt.
a lot of debt. You figure there's people that, like engineers, that know how to do things, that know how to. They can properly engineer building a bridge across a river or something like that. That's, in my opinion, that's where there's a need for those people.
That's right. Or medical.
Somebody that can do something, a doctor, a
nurse,
a physical therapist, whatever.
A specific special.
Yeah. Where they can go get a job. And there's so many of them nowadays that are getting some kind of a college degree, where are they going to go work?
Who's going to hire him? That's what I wonder. Who can pay him $5,000? Who could you pay $5,000 a month?
Exactly.
Nobody.
What good are they? What are they bringing to the table?
That's one way to look at it, isn't it?
And there's, I've noticed lately that some, for lack of a better word, I guess politicians or whatever, have been talking up like trade schools and stuff. Mm-hmm. It seems to me like that there should be a huge need for that. People that can weld, people that can frame,
Find me, do you know anybody that can dig a ditch by hand? I don't know of anybody.
Well, they don't have to now. There's too many machines.
Well, sometimes you can't use a machine.
My brother-in-law can dig you one.
So's, yeah. Boy, isn't he a great guy?
Yeah.
People like him's what made America great.
Oh, that's some more of the small world stuff. Like me and you. My brother-in-law ended up doing a lot of work for you. Mm-hmm. You know Steve Suttles, excavation Bobcat guy, and just by crazy circumstances, he ended up doing work for him because he knew, was it Lyle Sawyer that worked for you forever?
Yeah, forever.
I know Lyle.
He retired.
My brother-in-law knew him. He's younger than me. He knew Lyle, and he ended up. Lyle couldn't do everything. Lyle did everything for a long time, right?
Yeah, he just got older
and just kept working and kept working.
Steve's gifted at that.
Hey, there's some people that just have it.
He just got it. When it comes to that, he's just got it.
He can look, Randy. He can look at a place and he can go, we need to do this and this and this because the water, when it rains, needs to go that way, and right now it's going to go this way. It's one of those, isn't it?
Oh, he is.
Some people see elevations and all that
He
better.
can walk up,
if you- but if
you've
you
seen
had-
it 1,000 times. I know about him, and he just walks up and goes, "We got to do this."
But if they said, "Hey, you got to have heart surgery," and he's the only one we've got, you'd say, "Well, at least he's not gonna mess up."
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
He's not gonna mess
He's
up.
a smart fella. I don't really like to give him credit, for a lot of stuff. In
Did y'all married sisters?
Huh?
Y'all married sisters?
Yeah. He married my
What do you
wife's
think
younger
when
sister.
he met you?
I have no idea. I told somebody the other day, when she brought him around, he was the first one that she brought around that I liked. And I was like, okay, you can keep him. Big Steve,
Yeah.
the big unit.
Big unit, yeah.
Yeah.
Where did you get that name?
I gave it to him because he was just so, the something gun he was like 4 foot wide in the
Yeah,
shoulders,
yeah.
just a big old boy. Good dude.
What do you think about the things now are so much different than when we was growing up, or are they? Is it really that much different?
Well, one big difference is, like the kids, they don't have the same outlook on life, the same work ethic, a lot of different things. But I think this part might be better than we think it is. But you're talking about who would you get to dig a ditch?
Yeah, who?
When we were growing up, there was a line
Anybody.
of us waiting. Everybody's kids wanted a
Yeah.
job working somewhere, and they didn't mind working.
I think we were trying to get somewhere. Or did we just feel like we had
there
to?
wasn't much else to do but work or play.
That was about it.
That's a good point. A lot of, I know of some kids nowadays, and this part I'll when I die, I'll never understand this. They believe that if you don't absolutely love your job, that you shouldn't have to work.
Boy, that's bull, isn't it?
Well, find me a perfect job, I'll sign up now. I don't care what it is. There is no perfect job.
They're all aggravating.
We're all living good lives, pretty good lives right now. But you can find something wrong with everything. Where is the perfect job? Is it being a beer taster for $200,000 a year? or I don't know what the perfect job is. But
Well, if you did that, you'd be stuck in a office with the same people, and they'd get on my nerves.
yeah,
So I couldn't do that either.
yeah.
It'd be the same thing. When I was at the Cherokee one morning eating at the liar's table, I left and I ran it, and Johnny Holland was leaving the same time I did. He's passed away. And I had skipped school that day and went to the restaurant. And he said, Dee, what are you going to do when you grow up? And I said, I don't know, Johnny. I said, I'm just going to build houses. And he said, well, let me tell you something. He said, you're not going to be happy with anything you do. He said, get into something that makes a lot of money. And boy, if I ever should have listened to somebody, it was him. Because none of it's good.
There's some worse than others. You can look around and decide, at least I'm not having to do that, Well, what made you decide to get into construction?
I guess Randy's dad, Joe.
Really?
Yeah, I was 12, 13 years old. I worked on every job he built till I was 18. That was a lot of buildings.
Shoveled a lot of gravels and cleaned a lot of
I
houses.
didn't work
didn't
like
we?
on every day, but every job.
You ended up on the job
I
site
ended up on the job
somewhere.
somewhere. That's all I ever want to do is build houses. I don't know really.
And what were you doing this whole time?
I grew up working with.
You were like free labor, right? Just
No, it wasn't free. He paid me about $2 an hour, probably.
how much?
For $2 an hour.
Wow.
That was the going rate then. $2.85,
Yeah.
$3.25.
I worked a job weed eating and hauling hay for $2 an hour. It was cash though.
Well, that hauling hay was hard, wasn't it?
Yeah.
God, I remember
But
those.
it was hot and hard, but you didn't think nothing about it.
Most of the time, that was a favor.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, where I grew up, on our place, it was just like room and board.
Yeah, it was almost just
Yeah.
It was an
expected.
obligation, wasn't it?
You
Sort of
were
an obligation.
going to do it, yeah.
They were you were obligated to do it, and they were obligated to pay you.
It was never an option that there was a choice otherwise. That's just what you were going to do.
I remember I went out and hauled hay for this guy. I got to where they'd call me, different people.
Yeah.
And he stopped the tractor. I was all gung-ho. I was trying to take on the world. He stopped the tractor and turned around and said, the guy that was with me, it was two of us on this side and two of us on the other side. You throw it. And we had the outside row, which was more bales. And he stopped the tractor and turned around and said, hey, he said, so-and-so, if you'll get over there and help those other two, he said, Dee'll get this side and be waiting on y'all at the end.
Because you were out working them.
Well, there was a way you could flip that bale.
Yeah.
That was.
Oh, it
that
was all
didn't take
technique.
strength. It was a technique thing.
Yeah.
You remember Frank Falk?
You had to use your knee. Frank Falk.
I used to haul hay with him. He could throw a bale 13 bales high in place. I've seen it. I promise you. 13
Really?
bales high. He'd flip it and he could throw it and it'd land right.
You had to use your knee to get
It's
it.
where the airport is. That's where
Remember
the airport
Jeff Howard, how far he could throw
Oh,
one?
Jeff Howard, Lord.
He's passed away too.
He's passed away. Boy, he was a great guy, wasn't he?
Yeah. I remember one time we saw him throw I forget if it's one or two bales over a dump truck. That's just, that's impressive.
He was like Hoss Cartwright, man.
We were easily entertained, weren't we? Hey, look, wait, you got to stop and come and see this.
Watch this.
Yeah.
Hey, you know, I can watch westerns now and with my kids, and it seems crazy to them, a guy riding a horse. But we weren't that far removed to where a guy riding a horse would make sense. To them, it's like somebody riding a whale.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, it's just too far removed. I mean, we're talking about a little over 100 years ago, they were literally riding. I mean, Jesse James just died in, 1910 or something like that? I mean, it's not been that long ago.
In our old lifetimes, no, it hadn't been that far.
You go back a generation,
that far
generations,
removed.
it's all different.
Could you watch Outlaw Josie Wells with your kids and it be relevant to them at all?
I'd like to have.
My daughter's 32, I guess, but I doubt it. I mean,
Probably not.
there's a whole generation of folks that don't know how cool Clint Eastwood was.
He was, wasn't he?
He was
You still got that old poster?
I still got it in the bathroom. I got it in the bathroom over my commode.
what poster?
He had an Outlaw Josie Wells poster.
Oh,
Did he
yeah.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, I got the whole thing.
I always thought
The
that
official movie poster.
Yeah,
then. Yeah.
No, it's a thing of High Plains Drifter, Outlaw Joe. It's got the different hats on.
I hadn't seen it in years, but it's
Yeah.
a
Yeah, let me get it. Hang on just a minute.
Bring it up. Yeah, there you go.
Boy, he was cool and still alive.
Yeah. He's over 90 now, correct?
I think he's 90. I got this guy that worked for me that's the same age as him. He's like 93.
He still
He
works?
still works. He'll work about 6 hours a week, something like that.
Really?
And just got married. Remarried. They're not too smart.
Well, yeah. Where did you get that picture?
I don't remember. I've had it forever. I've had it forever. Probably, I don't know because I don't go anywhere.
So
I don't
obviously
have-
you were a big Eastwood fan.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
I mean,
Clint Eastwood,
who
High
wasn't?
Plains Drifter, Unforgiven.
Yeah.
All
That Unforgiven was
that was a good one.
awesome. Yeah, him and Morgan Freeman, right? Yeah.
You know, that was to me, one of the most iconic movies because, let's see, which one was it? Yeah, that's when that boy wants to be a gunslinger.
The boy was almost legally blind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he wanted to be a gunslinger.
Yeah.
And Clint was trying to quit.
Mm-hmm.
And so he provokes him to go hunt this guy.
Him and was it Morgan? It was Morgan Freeman, right?
Yeah,
was in
yeah,
it with him.
yeah.
And then they had decided to go after these two cowboys that had cut this woman up.
Yeah, and they had.
Because they were hiring somebody to try to kill them.
Because they needed, because Clint needed the
Gene
money.
Hackman was
Gene Hackman
the sheriff
That's
or
right.
whatever.
He said no
You see
guns.
it? Yeah, I think
Oh,
it's
I've
awesome.
seen it many
No
times.
guns
yeah.
allowed.
Yeah.
And so when he decided that he had to and he started killing the people, the boy decided that he was tougher than he thought he was.
Yeah.
And he wasn't as tough as he thought he was.
Yeah. Yeah.
That was a real transformation, Clint Eastwood, in that movie.
It
From
really
like a
was.
sheep or pig farmer
Right.
to the.
Yeah, and
Yeah, he was a pig farmer,
well,
wasn't he? Yeah.
Hell Rider, he was a preacher.
Yeah.
They called him preacher.
That was a good.
That
movie.
was a similar type.
He was going to stay preacher until the bad guys provoked him into bringing them guns
Then he went and
back
got,
out.
went and got the guns out of the safe deposit
Yeah.
box,
Yeah.
and he hit him with that piece of hickory.
These
Remember
memorized
the big
and stuff.
giant, they used to know every
I
line.
knew every line of Clint Eastwood. I
Yeah,
could
you
just
could be
about
sitting there
quote
watching, he'd know the next line
it.
along.
That's
I could
funny.
quote it.
I'm about as bad
No, my
anymore.
brother-
High Plains Drifter was one of the best.
Steve is like that with the original Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, really?
He can quote every line of it
I like
as
that
it's,
movie.
as it's going on.
Remember
It's
when he was
hilarious.
eating a hamburger at the restaurant?
Oh,
He says,
yeah.
"I'm
The
trying to
Diablo
get-"
sandwich
Yeah.
and a Dr.
Yeah.
Pepper.
He says that means, and he had the ketchup on it.
Yeah. Yeah. Bert dipped his neck in that drink, was
Yeah.
cleaning it.
And he was the guy who was chasing. He says that guy's
Steve
been
can
going
quote
through
every, he
backyards.
can ahead of every single line in that whole movie quoted about it. It was funny.
Watch him lie. He's just a really dangerous man.
That was a good movie. I remember seeing that at the cinema. That's when I saw it, Smoking the
Smoking the Bandit, really.
Didn't
Yeah.
y'all have CBs?
Yeah, I did.
We had CBs during that era.
Yeah.
I remember Jeff
That was
Well,
a cell
CBs.
phone.
Jeff Whaley had one that had the antenna that would come all the way over and attach
Oh, like
to
the
the
curved
front. Remember
one.
that? Yeah.
No, like Andy Griffith had on
Yeah.
the squad car.
We had them all our four-wheel drives, our Jeep
Everybody.
and
Oh.
trucks jacked up. You had your CB. And,
But CB started, remember the old Convoy song?
Yeah. Well, the Convoy song came out before Smokey and the Bandit.
Yeah,
right?
that's what kind of started
Yeah.
CBs, and then Smokey and the Bandit like
Yeah.
sent it over the top.
Did Ray Stevens come up with a song called Convoy? Was it Ray Stevens?
No, it was
Jerry Reed, maybe?
Might have been.
give me
Jerry.
a second, and I'll think of it. It was a guy named
He was in the movie with him.
He was in the
C.W. McCall
You know, he
had the Convoy song. That was a
C.W.
big hit.
McCall.
C.W. McCall. It was some kind of a
Convoy.
stage name. Yeah. Breaker, breaker, rubber duck, and all that crap. You know?
Ray Stevens
I
had,
still remember my hand.
Ray Stevens had everything else under the sun.
yeah, The Streak was
The
his
Streak.
big song.
Yeah.
What about Roy D. Mercer? Did you ever listen to him?
R&D.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just how big
His
a boy
father-
are you?
Yeah, I may just bring my brother.
As I said before, we have been easily entertained. It don't take a lot.
It's crazy how things, but you know, maybe the times, maybe things haven't changed. Maybe we just changed. Maybe, you know.
Well, times were a lot simpler in our
Do you think
younger
our parents
days.
would have looked at us and said, "Boy, they don't work"? Does it regress? I mean, would your dad have said you didn't work, etc.?
I think he thought I could work more.
And probably his dad.
But I had to
thought-
sleep
might have-
sometime.
His dad might have thought he had to work.
You figure,
Oh, they were raised to
you
work. All
figure
of
it
them.
like this. My dad, he died in 1982 at 59 years old.
Oh, wow.
Okay. He grew up, there was like 15 kids during the Great Depression on a farm and a sawmill. Now, people today think they've got hard times. They don't know anything about hard times. I mean, you start imagining this. They lived in a house that you could like see down through the floorboards, summer and winter. They never went hungry. Okay, they grew their own food.
But they didn't have a variety to eat. It was always
Their entertainment was the boys played baseball and they all went swimming down the creek. That was it. I mean, you think of during the Great Depression, a farm and a sawmill. We're growing food and we're working best we can.
All they're trying to do is pay the taxes.
I guess.
Property taxes.
Yeah.
They call that the Great Struggle.
There was enough they made enough to survive, and they all survived.
I remember Grandma Ownby one time, I was in school and we were studying the Great Depression. I'm going to ask Grandma about that. And I
You
said,
mean Mama?
Yeah, Grandma Ownby,
Yeah.
Laverne Ownby.
Yeah.
I said, Grandma, what was it like in the Depression? She said, we was so poor we couldn't tell when it started or ended. Didn't make any difference to them.
Yeah, something happened big. They didn't know the difference, you know. Somebody asked one of my aunts one time, said, why'd they have so many kids? She said, they needed a lot of help. They had a lot of work to do.
That was true, wasn't it?
It kind of was. And so you take somebody, for instance, our parents and our grandparents, when they grew up, when they saw you getting a job working on a construction site, okay, that's fine. But that ain't work, you know.
Right, yeah.
compared to when they had to like walk 4 miles to go to work and then walk.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The things that we went through were just really, really nothing in comparison to the stuff that they went through. So, you know, you look at your kids nowadays and they're like, oh, it's tough. And you're like, no, it's not. you know what I'm saying?
I've got it much easier than my parents did, and my kids have it much easier than we did. That's good. That's progression. Things are getting better.
Yeah, I'm all for that. But you understand what I'm saying? The old timers, when they looked at us, they were like,
You realize a guy that was born in 1915 or 1910, and by the time he was 15, which is the age where you realize that this is not a game sort of thing. You know, you start realizing what's going on.
Becoming an adult. Yeah.
By then, the Depression hits. And you knew that the family was struggling. They might have lost their farms. If you had any debt, you know, you were in trouble.
Mm-hmm.
And as soon as you got okay with that, they had World War II.
Yeah.
And you might have even gone to World War II. And then after that, you came back and you had kids, and they sent him to Vietnam.
Yeah.
And as soon as all of that was over and you kind of got everything together, then they started saying Social Security's not going to be there.
Yeah.
And those people are about 93. They're Clint Eastwood.
Yeah.
They're about 93, right? And those people will not borrow money to buy toilet paper.
Right.
That's how, because you can pick them out. You can pick them out and say, yep, they came through the Depression.
They came through the true hard times.
They were about 15, 16 years old during the Depression.
Yeah. Yeah. You're right.
I mean, that's the greatest generation. They could have given up.
Oh, look. They were too good of people to give up. You know, you figure your dad, how long did he work?
He built houses.
Till 2010 or so.
Yeah, I'd say he'd been quit 10, 12 years.
Probably.
So he was in the 70s, you know,
Yeah.
probably 74-ish.
Yeah. Didn't know anything else to do.
But he was raised by people that were in the Depression.
And this is what I'm talking about. It's a work ethic.
He wasn't in the Depression, but he was raised by people that were in the Depression.
He was starting to talk about pulling his license out of retirement a year ago when I was over there one night, but then he never did. He just
when he hit 60, 61, 62, it never occurred to him to retire. You know, he's just still got to
You
go
think
to
people
work.
are better off to be working and have something to do?
I think so.
I had lunch with a good friend of mine Friday. He's a retired multimillionaire. I mean, this guy is the real deal.
Mm-hmm.
He's 86. And I said, hey, I'm thinking about retiring. I'm just tired of all this. He said, Dee, he says, if you can afford to quit and you want to quit and you're tired of working and you don't need the money and you don't have a reason to work, make one up.
Really?
Yeah, which I was expecting him to say.
Yeah, retire, go
He
to the
said,
beach.
make one up. He said, you gotta have. He said it wasn't just the working or the staying busy or going to the post office. He said it was. You have to have something you think you're accomplishing and doing and making better.
You know, there is fishing and golfing and vacations,
You need a
other
reason
things you
to
could
get up
do.
and do it.
He was sort of anti that in a way. He was saying that just staying busy is not enough. That you have to be trying to solve this and do that.
Have a reason to get up.
He called it a purpose.
Yeah, a purpose, a reason to get up
Now,
and go to work.
what's your thoughts on that?
I agree 100%.
What about you, Randy?
I stay busy. I like having something to do.
But
I do like to fish or do something when work's over.
it's hard to find the mix.
I've told people a lot. To me, it's about your quality of life. Okay? If you're happy, just generally happy, and see, like you, for instance, you're one of these people, I don't really picture you being retired and going to the beach.
I couldn't do it.
Okay? You like the process of running jobs and getting things built. It's not like you're out here having to dig ditches and drive nails every day, but you make things happen and you got people and you Dee Burris construction and you run. If it's that or if it's just going fishing, your quality of life, do you enjoy day to day? You know? And if your health gets to where you can't do anything, for instance, that's when I said I just soon be out of here. If your quality of life, can you get up and do what you want to do?
Now, quality of life that gets to be a real ambiguous thing. I had a guy tell me last week. He said, "You don't know what it's like to sleep on a $10,000 mattress." I said, well, I can't stay in the same room with a banana. I hate bananas. I can't even stand to look at a banana. And I don't want a banana sandwich.
Yeah.
So there's no need in me trying a banana sandwich to see if I like it.
Yeah,
I
because
don't
you know you're not going.
And I don't want a $10,000 mattress.
Yeah.
So to me, that's anti-quality of life. So if I'm doing what I want to do, is that not quality of life?
Yeah, that's my.
Is that your point?
If you really, if your most fun thing, the best thing that you can do anytime is go fishing. I know you do a lot of fishing, right?
I like to fish.
You like to fish. If you're out there and that line in the water, you got you a cold drink, you're in a shady spot and everything's good, that's a pretty good quality of life, ain't it?
Yeah, it's not bad.
I think what this guy was saying was try to win the tournament. Try to go to that place where you hadn't fished before. Not just fish, but try to win the tournament. Try to catch the bigger fish. It's all a matter of trying to trump yourself, I guess.
In my opinion, quality of life now as I'm getting older has become, can I take care of myself?
But you've done a lot of travel.
I have. Me and my lovely wife last October got the state of Hawaii, and that made all 50 states for both of us.
Oh, wow.
Who would have thought when we was growing up that he would see 50 states?
I've seen all 50 of them.
Well, I jumped and went to Hawaii, but I hadn't seen the rest of them.
it became, at one point, I was traveling, working on the road. I was working on the road all the time. I started working local. My wife, Pam, starts working on the road in just contract work, right? And I don't even know how it came up, and we ended up just printing off a map, check off the places you've been, the states. And then so we went after and achieved, me and her both achieved 50 last October when we got Hawaii.
You even went to Alaska too then.
Yeah.
Did you go through, did you stop at some, or did you just say, okay, I drove through it and I've
Some
been
of
there?
them we stopped and put our feet on the ground.
Just to say I've been there.
Because, frankly, there are some places, Oklahoma,
Yeah.
there's not a lot to see, brother. Sorry. Some places we did things. We visited New Mexico and rode a hot air balloon. It was crazy.
Well, what
fun.
was that like?
It was awesome.
Was it scary?
No, I mean, I wasn't scared. It was,
No question, wasn't it?
well, no,
I should have been.
the thing is things you remember, okay? You know what you don't feel in a hot air balloon?
What?
Wind,
Is that right?
because that's what's moving you. You're going to, you're
Oh,
always,
you're going the same speed as the
always
wind.
going the exact speed as the wind. You don't feel wind blowing. And
Huh.
you think it's going to be,
But you're in the wind. Yeah.
the wind's what's moving you.
Yeah.
If it's going 5 or 15, that's how fast, that's what's moving you down.
How much room is in a hot air balloon?
There was a lot of us. There's probably 10 of us in this gondola.
So it was like 10 by 10 or something? Or
And
12?
it was like a rectangular shaped basket thing.
Was it half the size of this room?
It was half the. It was 2/3 as long as this table and a little bit wider. Had a divider in it, and a pilot, and like probably 8 or 10 people in
Well, I don't
it.
know if I'd done that.
How high did you get?
Exact feet, I have no idea. We were way up.
Stuff started getting small though.
This guy takes it down. He can control up and down with the heat, right? Mm-hmm. He took us down and skimmed the basket in the Rio Grande River and then picked it back up and off we went. And we were up, I don't know how high, but just different stuff. Me and her, it seems like a lot of our travels always turned into an adventure, which was important to me. I mean,
How come?
circumstances and crazy stuff. We were going to the Dakotas, South Dakota, North Dakota, into Minnesota, and the day before we got up there, an unexpected blizzard popped up. But up there, they get the roads cleared off pretty quick. So we're rolling along, and the speed limit's 80 miles an hour in South Dakota. And we're just rolling up through there, and there's 18 inches of snow on both sides of the road, and we're just going through there seeing it.
Yeah.
And get into Minnesota, and it's solid ice, and they ain't plowed nothing. So, like I said, some just crazy circumstances turn these things into adventures.
They say that when you go to Six Flags, you don't remember the trip, but you remember the flat tire you had on the way to the trip.
Yeah, that's exactly right. I told somebody about like playing football at Bradley High School, and we had good teams. You don't remember the games. You remember all the stupid crap in the locker room and on the practice field is what you remember.
Why is that?
It's just the camaraderie. It's people that you know and meet and there again living a quality of life. You know, you think about this odd and end things when the three of us were just riding around.
I remember you giving me a dip in Copenhagen, but I
Yeah.
don't remember what I was driving.
We went to football games. We went to Bradley football games. The three of us. And you saw other people and all this, but all that just it was some form of an adventure.
Do you remember when I was going to get in a fight with that guy at McDonald? You don't remember. I'm sure you don't remember this at all.
You were going to get in a fight?
I was going to get in a fight with him. He's a big old guy. And I came over and told you, and you started heading on there. You were going to beat the guy up, and I had to stop you.
I probably would have.
You would have.
I wouldn't let nobody beat up my little buddy.
Now, why do I remember that?
I don't know.
I don't remember that at all.
Oh, I know. But I remember it.
That's funny.
That was funny.
I've stopped confrontations before.
You were a big old guy, guy. Randy was big.
Of people that were friends of mine. That's because, I mean, if you're my friend, if you need my help, I'm going to be there for you. I mean, that's just kind of how our generation was too.
That's what I'm thinking.
Loyalty.
Well, that was a big thing.
You've known people yourself that if confrontation come up, they'd take off.
We've seen that.
Hightailing it the other way. I'm standing there. If we're all going to get killed, I'm still going to stand there with you.
Yeah, as long as we can.
That was just my nature. You said that about Randy. We picked up a car. You remember the back end of a car? Is that correct? Am I remembering right?
We stood on his back bumper and spun it around about halfway before we dropped.
We parked some girl's Honda sideways in a parking space. Am I remembering that right?
I seems like I remember.
Now the car we picked up was my little Honda, that little white one I used to drive. Little front wheel drive. You used to take it everywhere.
It would fly.
It'd go anywhere.
That
thing was tough as nails.
Had 5 gears. There were 5 gears. Seems like. That was in frontage road was gravel.
That's the one that we picked up?
It was like a gravel with some kind of spray tar on it back then.
That was the car we picked up?
Yeah.
Okay.
It was his car.
Okay. And I remember we picked somebody's car up and turned it sideways in a parking space. But
you always wore a cowboy hat.
In younger days, yeah, I was a cowboy in my dreams, I guess. In younger days,
had allergic reaction and his hair fell out.
we could pick up however much you needed to pick up. It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
No, it was. Just
all that working and shoveling and carrying firewood and all that got your back strong, didn't it? I promise you, I can't pick one up now.
No, God, no, I'd be in the nursing home by the time now.
You think so?
No. Oh, good Lord.
Or you just think it's in our minds?
That ruptured disc says it's not just in my mind.
You got a ruptured disc?
Yeah.
Oh, you do?
And arthritis and everything, yeah. It's all right. It just hurts a little.
Yeah, something hurts every day.
It seems like it goes from one knee to the other and then your back.
No, like, see, this one, you like bike riding, correct?
Yeah.
He's actually in physical shape.
Yeah,
physical
condition. I don't hurt a bit.
Really?
No.
Because of all that, you stayed active and stayed.
I've sort of studied it a little bit, to be honest with you.
You studied
feeling good,
physical fitness and all that. Yeah.
And I think that and this is probably wrong, but I was a vegetarian for 15 years.
Really?
Didn't eat any meat because of animal rights.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I started riding bikes with these guys.
I didn't have him pictured as that, did you?
I mean, 15 years, no meat. But I started riding bikes with these guys, and they were all better than me. And I thought, I just wasn't that far behind these guys. So I started doing this, doing that. Finally, I thought, well, I'm gonna quit being a vegetarian. I'm just gonna eat meat. And I just started eating meat. All the pains went away.
It does inflame your joints and stuff.
All the energy came back.
Really?
It's unbelievable. And I don't mean it's a month later. I mean, it's the next day.
Really? Just from getting that
Just eat meat.
protein, nutrition, whatever.
You gonna quit, Tom?
Quit what?
Eating meat?
God, no. I'll quit when I'm dead.
No, I mean, just eat meat.
Son,
Just eat. Just don't do nothing else but meat.
I've
Because
been.
what I did was I quit being a vegetarian, and that's when it all came back to me.
Oh, I thought you meant when he was eating vegetables.
That was killing me. It was literally killing me.
You wouldn't have the protein and stuff.
No
you need.
protein.
I cooked a bunch of bacon on my Blackstone grill before I came earlier today just for a snack.
How much
What kind do
bacon?
you
A pound?
No, I cooked 3 packs. Well, that's how many we had. And you know, bacon does not come in a resealable pack.
No, you
when
got to cook it all.
It's on, yeah.
What do you cook it? You just cook it just plain bacon?
Yeah. I can eat all the bacon you got.
I love bacon. If you wrap my leg in bacon, I can eat it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Meat.
Well, you ever eat sausage, Mr. Sausage?
Yeah.
I love sausage.
Love good. You just talking about just the old country whole hog sausage?
Yeah, real spicy.
I like the hot.
Yeah, hot.
Yes.
Hot.
Sausage, hamburger.
Ribs.
Yeah, whatever. I don't care. I mean, look at me. I'm not picky. This didn't happen by accident. A lot of beer and gravy, but yeah, it created all this.
I don't eat much gravy.
I don't know.
I get to feeling a little funny after gravy.
Me and the wife we don't cook a lot in the summertime. We cook less in the summertime, I guess you would say.
What do you eat?
Just whatever.
Go out.
No, well, since it's funny, since COVID, we used to go out a lot. We'd go out and eat, go out, like to Pokey's or one of the local bars on Saturday night or something, Friday night, Saturday. We got to where, after COVID, we got to where we don't go anywhere. And we went out yesterday evening. We had my grandson's birthday party. So after that, we went up to Aubrey's and got some food. That's the first time we've been out in a long time. We've gotten to where we just stay at home.
It's just, I eat out so much, I'm just sick of eating out.
Really?
I'd rather just eat at home.
We're constantly looking for new places to eat out.
But
It all tastes the
when
same.
we're home, oftentimes we just like, she makes these little salads or something like that, or
Pimento cheese sandwich, maybe?
whatever. Yeah, but we just don't cook a whole lot in the summertime. I guess just because of the heat and
Boy, we do.
just don't feel like it.
If we're not eating out, we're cooking. Or my wife is especially. But
Yeah.
I do a lot of the
Yeah,
grilling.
but you stay nice and thin and slim and trim. I don't know what you're doing, but
Have you been working out?
you exercise or anything?
I work out a little bit, not like I used to. For years for 20 years, I guess I worked out and probably about quit. But used to walk a lot. I kind of had a little spell with diabetes. I had to lose some weight. The doctor told me to lose some.
That's sort of a scam, I think.
Yeah, I got it back under control, but I had to lose, 50, 60, over 60 pounds, but I've gained back 20 of that since then, so I'm still down a
You
little.
lost 50 pounds?
I was running 245 about all the time, 235, 245.
Really? I wish I could get down to that.
What do you weigh, Tommy?
Right at 300,
300. How tall are you?
6'2". 20 pounds is like a deck chair off the Titanic at this point. Listen, I started on this diet thing. I kind of did a variation of what you call the carnivore.
You even got Gwen laughing at that one.
I did a variation of what they call the carnivore diet, where it's mostly meat and eggs.
Meat and eggs.
Because that's two of my favorite things is meat and eggs. I thought, I can eat meat and eggs, hell, I'm good.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, isn't it?
It worked. It's the basis of it was eliminating carbs.
Yeah.
Okay? If you can eliminate carbs, you'll lose weight.
Yeah.
No question. No question.
And I had better discipline doing it than I thought I would have. I'm down about 30 pounds from what I was. I mean, I'd had this thing with my heart, and it was just kind of like circumstances and timing, and I just like swelled up and boom and whatever. So I've lost about 30 pounds. Seemed to be plateauing 295, 300.
I didn't even know what a carb was until I started having to lose that, and then I had to find out.
Then you found out
I was drinking
they're
2 or 3.
not your friend.
Yeah, I found out I was drinking 200 or 300 carbs a day.
They say don't drink your carbs.
Yeah.
You eat
Yeah.
them. They say don't drink them.
I was
Really?
drinking
Yeah,
sweet
like
tea
Cokes
and Mountain Dew, Coke.
But Mountain Dew, I think a good Coke is good.
See,
for
I
you.
quit
Yeah,
soda.
I know what you're thinking, but that's not what I was drinking.
I quit soda a long time ago.
Yeah, I drank too many.
You don't
of them.
drink any Cokes?
No, I gave them up years ago.
I drink a 10-ounce Coke every night with my dinner.
At night.
At night, it don't hurt you.
Well, I mean,
A Coke's good for you.
I was saying about the caffeine late at night.
It
See,
don't bother
that seemed to bother me.
Not the 10-ounce.
Yeah. Yeah.
It don't hurt you.
I quit them a long time ago.
Drink sweet tea.
No, not really.
Just water?
I mean, my day is usually water, coffee, water, and I actually quit drinking alcohol during the week.
You just drink it on the weekends.
Friday night, Saturday, Sunday. That
At
was,
least that's a method, isn't it?
yeah, I mean, again, the deck chair off the Titanic, but it's going down. This may prolong the sinking. You get a little more health conscious, I think, when as you start getting a little age on you, and you start finding out you got things wrong with you and this and that. And
I think that the more people are conscious of their health, the worse health they're in. You show me somebody that's health conscious, and I'll show you somebody that's not in good health. Now, why is that?
they know about the things that are wrong with them, in other words. You know what I'm saying?
Maybe it's just all imaginary.
Yeah. A diabetic then becomes health conscious, I guess. I don't know.
Maybe just keep doing what you're doing and not worry about it. Maybe your body just wants to be that state.
Yeah, could be. Could be.
I mean, everything they told us has not been right.
No kidding.
Everything we heard is not true, right?
We all three believe that, yeah.
Do you remember something you grew up believing that ended up not being true?
Like Santa Claus is real?
Santa Claus? That's one.
Yeah. Golly. I mean, besides Santa and the Easter Bunny, I don't know what.
You believe the flat Earth people?
The flat Earth people?
Yeah, people that believe the Earth's
That
flat.
always amazed me that people actually believe that. The flat Earth. I mean, heck, well,
I mean, why wouldn't it be?
Well, if you believe the pictures that were taken from outer space,
But
it's absolutely round.
Well, some people say they put that picture in front of the window.
I told somebody the other day, we were talking about something in the era of current events.
Uh-huh.
We know what happened not long ago with the former president getting a shot taken at him, and all this speculation and all this conspiracy stuff. And I said, if you could absolutely push a button and find out the truth, the absolute truth, whatever it is, would it surprise you? Now, would it surprise you? It wouldn't me. If you learned that this person, that these famous people or people that you know in politics or whatever, these people, this person is, if you knew for a fact, if you found out for a fact that they were involved in it, would you be surprised?
Not at all.
No.
No, and I found out that most everything we've been told is not true.
A lot of it is not. You're correct.
I mean, it's just crazy how it's just fairy tale.
I equate it to going to either a doctor or taking your car to the mechanic. Okay? You take the vehicle that you drove here in to a mechanic shop, and they say, Dee, it needs this and this and this and this. You gonna dispute it?
No, you don't
Why?
have a choice.
Because you don't know.
Don't know. They had confidence.
You
when
could
they said-
research for 2 weeks and still not know
Yeah.
for sure. Well,
Yeah.
it might be, or I mean, you see what I'm saying? You go to the doctor and they go, Randy, you need to do this and this and this.
You start researching stuff, you think you're dying.
Oh, everything leads to cancer.
Do
That's
you
the
believe it? You're at the mercy of whatever these people tell you that you think know what they're doing to start with,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, do you believe them or not?
No, I say you don't believe them. I mean, why would I believe anything? I mean, they don't know.
Do you disbelieve everything you hear?
I just about do anymore. I mean, don't you? I mean,
I question, in my mind, I question a lot of things.
I didn't used to.
No,
That
no,
you used
no. Now I question a lot of things that I hear, even.
It depends on who's telling you. If the news media is telling you, you may not believe it, but if it's
Well, you
if it's
figure it.
someone you
Well,
trust,
if it's somebody you trust, they
And
may
how
just
many-
be telling you what they heard.
I mean, how
could
many
be.
people do you have in your inner circle that you trust now?
a few.
Your true,
But it-
your true circle.
And they don't know.
They very well may not. How many people do you trust? Absolute trust, no matter
Well,
what.
how many
now?
people are driving down that road on Ocoee Street right now?
150.
It's just a guess.
Yeah,
It's just a belief.
exactly.
We don't know. I don't
Exactly.
know. You don't know.
Could be 30,
Randy
could
don't
be
know.
200.
It could be 30. It could be 200.
Yep. How many?
But how much am I going to hang on that?
You have people in your life every single day. How many of those people do you absolutely trust no matter what?
Oh, 10.
That you could get, I mean, this is obviously one of them right here. Me and you both. That you figure somebody that you could hand him something, a large amount of money or important documents or anything, and say, I need you to keep this safe for me for 30 days.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't be worried about
No,
it. But how
$10
many people
to
do you
it,
have
something
in your
happens.
life that are at that level?
They say don't trust anybody but your mother, and don't ask your daddy about your mother.
Yeah.
But that's not. But that's being exaggerated. But it's true. You just But so many
The
people-
number of people that are in that real tight circle that you can feel good about no matter what.
you know you heard.
It gets smaller the older you get.
You think that these people that have died years ago, that they could navigate? Think of somebody smart that years ago they were real smart. They made a lot of money, et cetera, et cetera. Could they navigate today, or would they be lost? Or are they just people that could just do it no matter what?
I think they're smart people.
They could just do it no matter
They're
what.
smart. I mean, smart people are gonna make it,
Or smart people are smart people, and tough people are tough people.
and the dumb people are dumb people.
I don't think it's going to change much from one time to another.
Yeah.
One time frame.
I heard a guy tell me one time that if you took all the money in the world and split it up evenly to everyone and give it 10 years, everybody that had money before would have money again.
Yeah.
Everybody that was poor would be poor again.
Yep.
You know, it's,
The dumb ones would go broke again. I mean,
you know,
seriously.
some people just have a knack for working hard and making good decisions.
That's the key thing is decisions.
Well, that's the truth.
That's saying that rich people are rich because they live like they're poor, and poor people are poor because they try to live like they're rich.
Yeah. That's the end result, isn't it?
Yeah, you buy an $80,000 pickup truck when you can't afford it.
Yeah.
Is that a shot at me?
I mean, you see it every day.
Yeah.
People making poor decisions.
And it's not just on money.
No, just general poor decisions. You very rarely ever knew of a really, 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 really smart person that mated with a dumb one, did you? Smart people tend to run together. You see the really, really
Birds
stupid,
of a feather flock
they
together.
reproduce.
Birds of a feather flock
And if
together.
two dumb people raise a kid, what's the kid gonna be? Sorry,
And
this is reality. This is all my opinions, and you know already my opinion don't cost you nothing except a little bit of your time.
Yeah.
Dumb people create dumb people. Smart people just tend to create smart people. You know, you go back to people that were raised with work ethic.
Mm-hmm.
You know, you two fellas,
We were raised to
you
work.
had a choice, but you didn't have a choice. You get your butt up out of bed and go to work. Let's go, chop, chop, we gotta go, right? Right, Randy?
Get behind that push mower or shovel,
do
whatever.
something. You're gonna do something. Get up, gotta go to work. It matters.
What about, would we ever think that here we are in 2024 and they're arguing that men can use women's bathrooms? Can you believe that? Isn't that crazy? I mean, I want somebody to say, smile, you're on candid camera.
In a lot of ways, our generation is not wired for this world nowadays. We're just not. Sorry. I really try. Listen, I've got all kinds of friends. Some are way over here, some are way over there, and what they believe, what they practice, there's just a lot of stuff nowadays I'm just not.
I just don't understand it, do you?
The difference is the me nowadays, it's probably not going to get too confrontational about it. I'll just let them stay over there as long as they don't bother me. I don't care,
Yeah.
you know.
I'm
but-
like that too.
But if you can't decide which bathroom you need to use, you probably ain't gonna like me very much. That's just how I am. Sorry, this is what you get. But yeah,
And I don't think it'd matter what time we was born in, do you?
no, people adapt to whatever time they're born in. I think. I mean, my grandchildren will be able to get. They'll understand things, or take things as they understand things better than I will. Kids are smart, man. Kids nowadays are really smart, and they're just exposed to so much more information than what we were.
Yeah, we weren't exposed to any.
We were dumb compared to when it came to getting information and knowing things. You think of how dumb we were compared to there's kids now that know all kinds.
You had to pull an encyclopedia off the shelf to even find anything.
And you were labeled as sissy if you did that, weren't you?
Yeah. Literally an encyclopedia. I mean, there's literally probably two generations right now that have no idea what an encyclopedia is.
I don't even know if they make any. It's probably online.
I doubt it.
And who would look it up?
I doubt it. I would be really surprised if somebody actually prints encyclopedias
You know,
now.
I was looking up a definition of a word the other day. I looked it up online, and there was I could choose from 5 or 6 different dictionaries. I just thought there's one dictionary.
Webster's,
Webster,
yeah.
right? I
You
mean,
looked it up on your phone though, right?
yeah, but I thought it was Webster's, but it was, there's all kinds of different.
Really?
Yeah, there's 15 different dictionaries. There's not a Webster's dictionary. I mean, don't we have to first decide on the definitions of the words before we can even start talking? I mean, that's just crazy.
Yeah, and then we're taking somebody else's word for it, like you go back to earlier. We don't believe them.
Yeah.
So.
How do we believe that's the definition?
Luckily, we live in a conservative area, somewhat conservative anyway, and we don't have to put up with quite as much of this craziness that you're seeing.
Living here in Cleveland, Tennessee.
It's much more conservative than.
Oh, well, there's no question about that. Yeah, and
it's getting worse, but not near as bad as it is out west or in other areas.
yeah, it kind of depends on where you live as to the amount of crap you have to look at or deal with. But
Or how you look at stuff. I mean, if you were born today, you'd see the whole world totally different than
oh yeah,
what we've been ingrained in our head.
the things that we find unusual would be normal to you.
That's right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's a whole nother level of.
Yeah, you're right.
I mean, you take people that were in the '60s; they were the
generation before ours. It is.
They couldn't conceive of what we're wanting to retire at 60.
A lot of them are dead and gone now, and it's probably a good thing because they wouldn't know even what to think about a lot of this
Yeah,
crap. A lot of them wouldn't, you know.
Yeah, we're thinking about retiring at 60, and they all work to 70.
Yeah.
I mean, aren't we kind of?
Are you thinking about retiring?
I'm thinking about it,
Really?
but I can't
Huh.
mentally.
No, I can imagine you working like another 15 years at least.
But me thinking about it, the older generation would think I was being sissy.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they would think we're all sissies compared to, like I said, what they went through or what they did. But
What do you think about the president getting shot? When he raised his hand and said, "Fight, fight, fight," what do you think?
I thought that was his personality. He's.
I mean, how'd you feel, Randy?
I was excited to see he wasn't hurt worse. You know, I did, when I saw him go down, you know, and hold his head, hold his ear, I thought well, it could have grazed his skull and maybe be more brain damage or something.
And then you know about the news today.
Oh yeah, Biden's dropped out.
Biden has now dropped out officially.
Yeah, he's officially dropped out according to Twitter.
Which leaves he's endorsing the hyena, which will be interesting. If listen, my apologies up front to my friends on the left. I apologize right now. If Kamala Harris debates either Donald Trump
or J.D.
Vance,
Yeah.
it will be the biggest blowout in history. She is dumber than a truckload of dead hogs, in my opinion. Just my opinion. But it will. If she actually steps on the stage and debates, it will be laughable.
It seems like they would get somebody else.
I think she became their biggest problem.
I wonder why they didn't have that Kennedy guy. I mean, I could have voted for him.
I think she became their biggest problem.
Isn't he independent now?
He's independent, but he was trying to be a Democrat.
Yeah.
And I could have voted for him.
How could a Kennedy not? I mean, he had a lineage of being a Democrat.
Yeah.
But I think that Kamala Harris became the Democrats' biggest problem because they couldn't get rid of her. She's sitting vice president.
You don't think they can endorse anybody else? They have to endorse her?
I mean, seriously, the natural progression would be if the president decides that he's not running for re-election, who's the natural selection?
The vice president.
The sitting vice president. She's an idiot. She comes across as dumb. Mm-hmm. Now, she may be one of the smartest people in the history of the world. I don't know. I don't think so personally. But she comes across as dumb. And she had, like, when she ran for president before, she got smoked in the Democratic primary. I mean, it was not even a contest.
So did Joe Biden.
Yeah.
Not even a contest. Okay, see, Joe Biden was the sitting vice president, right, under Obama. He was the sitting vice president. He ran, and he was the one that beat Trump. Okay, who's the next natural progression is her. There's no way she beats him. I don't think.
I wouldn't think.
If she has to speak on a stage with either J.D. Vance or Donald Trump, she's going to look stupid.
You think
She
J.D.
can't
Vance
help
was
it.
a good pick?
I think he was an excellent pick because have you heard him speak very much?
Oh, yeah, I thought it was good.
He impresses people. Did you read the book or watch the movie about him?
No, I saw the snippets, and he's real.
You need to go on Netflix.
And he was the anti-Trump guy.
You need to go on Netflix and watch the movie.
Yeah.
Dude came up hard under big time hard circumstances. Now, I think people kind of know that. He's very, very, very no nonsense when he speaks. That's what people like.
And he's tall. That helps.
Yeah. Doesn't hurt a bit. I mean, if some guy walks into Burris Construction and starts to meaty mouthing around and talking and not really saying anything, as opposed to somebody that walks in and tells you what they need, what they want, when they do this, who you're more impressed by, right? It's just natural. This is all, again, all my opinion. My opinion means nothing, but I think that J.D. Vance came out of left field. There was all kind of speculation about other people that
He came out of left field, didn't he?
That Trump was going to pick.
No, I never. He wasn't even on my radar.
No, mine either, and ended up going to be a good one. Now
He's going to help pull New Hampshire and Wisconsin.
The next big question is going to be, who does Kamala Harris pick for her running mate now?
Well, that's a good question.
Yeah.
I was hoping old Trump might pick Byron Donalds.
Byron Donalds, I don't know him, do you?
Who?
It's Byron Donalds or Doug Burkham, either one of those. Burkham ran for president.
A lot of people thought he was.
Oh, I like him. Yeah,
a lot of people thought he was going to pick Tim Scott.
Yeah,
he would have been
Tim
good.
would have been good.
Yeah.
And somebody, but either way, who she now picks for vice president is going to be
But
a
they've
big
only
deal.
got 3.5 months.
If that. Before, I mean, early voting starts like in 60-something days, right?
That's right. How are they going to do that in 60 days?
A lot of money, I would think.
Why did they say Biden dropped out? I didn't read.
I heard nothing. It literally was on. It popped up on the TV. We were out by the pool, and it popped up on the TV, and it was running as a ongoing story. But I didn't even have the volume up on it. I don't even know what they said about it.
Were you at Steve's pool?
Not mine.
Oh,
yeah.
You and Steve have a pool?
Yeah.
Because he puts in pools, right?
Yeah, I had my pool first, and then he built a pool house, and I learned from his experience, and I changed some things. I built my pool house with his help.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I would not have if not for Steve Suttles. He's my go-to guy.
Would you go out in this pool house every day?
A lot of days, yeah. Now, I've got where, like, last couple of weeks, when it's like 96 degrees,
yeah.
and there's some days I just can't take. And listen, you're talking about somebody that loves summer. Absolutely, I despise winter.
I hate winter.
Give me 100 degrees any day.
Right.
I just can't take it like I used to could.
It gets hard.
If I'm in the water, in the pool, I'm okay. But
I'd rather it be 100 as 50.
any day. I was always like that. It's just now that extreme heat and humidity like we've had for what, 2.5, 3 weeks, I just can't take it like I used to could.
What does it do to you?
It just beats me down. I get out of wind, out of breath.
Good time to seal your driveway.
Do what?
Good time to put driveway sealer on.
My driveway's gravel. It don't require no sealer. Yeah. Look, I've got to where outside physical work, I'm useless. I am absolutely useless. I
But you're
can't.
not that old, Tommy.
I just turned 62,
That's not that old.
but it's my heart. My heart function is low, which is the amount of blood that your heart's pumping out. That's what gets oxygen to your body. That goes low.
What, did your heart just give out or what?
We're going down a conspiracy theory hole now, but here we go.
Okay.
This entire discussion is going to be Tom's beliefs that nobody cares about, but he's going to tell you anyway. This is what I believe. I took a COVID shot. In hindsight, I believe that I had some problems with my heart that I did not know anything about.
Maybe you just brought it up.
I think this COVID shot put it on turbocharge. My heart function is low. I got congestive heart failure now.
Really?
And when you get the biggest thing is, as I believe, is the heart function. Like I said, that's the amount of blood that your heart pumps out. That part's low. That means you can walk 150 yards and you're just beaten down, like you've been working hard, out of breath, etc. It wears on you. I take like 6 prescription medicines every day. So as I've said, that COVID shot may have started killing me and may have saved my life because I didn't know I had any problems. And I may not have, I don't know, that's just what I believe. I think because there's been people, a history in my family of some of them just like dropping dead with a heart attack. Well, I mean, if you don't know there's a problem, you know, as I told my heart doctor, right now I'm opposed to sudden death. Right now, that could change. That feeling could change down the road.
Would you rather, if you thought you couldn't have a quality of life, would you rather just go on?
Yeah, I sincerely hope and pray that I do.
What about you, Randy?
I guess it depends on the quality.
Well,
There's a little bit of quality. I want to stick around.
When we're talking about quality of life, can you get up and go to the bathroom by yourself?
There you go.
Yeah, say that.
Can you take a shower by yourself? Can you go fix yourself something to eat if you want to?
Yeah, if you lose all those
Can
qualities,
you get up and go out and drive to town if you want to?
All right, say you can't do those things.
That's a pretty sorry quality of life in my opinion.
And so you're thinking you'd rather just go
I'd just soon be dead.
You believe there's a heaven?
Yeah, I do. I truly do.
You believe it's a God as we know it, as me and Randy?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I do.
You feel him?
I don't know. I'm trying to remember. There was a quote from Abraham Lincoln, and I don't even remember the exact words, but he did not understand how anyone could look up into a night sky and not believe there's a God. A clear night sky. You look up and you go, wow, I don't believe that happened by accident. Just what I believe.
You pray to what we call God?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, every day.
Go by the Bible?
Well, I'm not like your prime example. Okay, don't. They're not going to be writing any books about me telling them this is how you ought to do it. Okay, I'm not without
Maybe
fault.
this is how you don't need to do it.
This may be your example of how you don't want to do it. But and
But
listen,
that doesn't change your belief, right?
no, and this is the thing, man. When you get, like I said, if my quality of life, I never and still never considered myself as one who could actually like commit suicide. Okay, but seeing some of the things that I've seen with people, and when your quality of life like goes completely in the toilet,
Yeah.
I understand it better than I did.
Yeah.
Why some people would go.
Yeah. It's not that you
No.
do it, but you
Yeah.
understand how they got
I
there.
understand how they could a little bit better.
Yeah.
As you get older and you see people laying in a bed and can't do anything for themselves.
Somebody
Yeah,
changing their
they
diet.
literally can't do anything for themselves, and you're laying there in existence. To me, that's when you got zero quality of life.
Just will go on.
Right now, you can get up every day and come into this facility and go to work, and you got things to do and people to direct and all that. You go from that to just, I can't do anything for myself. What does that do? Where does that put your quality of life?
It can't be good, can it?
I don't even know what that would do to you mentally. Somebody like yourself, you've got something going on every single day, don't you? Literally 7 days a week. You have things that you have to do and places that you have to be and things that you have to do.
With big consequences if I don't.
Yeah. So all of a sudden,
Have you ever
Take
heard
that
that
away.
quote that life is living on the edge and everything else is just waiting?
no, but I like it. I like it. Where do you stand on all this, Randy? The quality of life and
I hope I can keep quality of life because I've seen it the other way, and I wouldn't want to live without a quality of life. Now I'm sure you could make a few exceptions, but when your quality of life gets to the point where all you're doing is laying there and in pain, and I understand that, and I don't want to.
I can't picture you being that way.
No.
No,
when you can't do anything for yourself, I guess if you lose the hope that you are going to get better, that's.
Yeah, maybe that's it.
Yeah.
When you have no more hope.
Yeah. This is. I'm never going to recover. I'm never going to get back to where I was or whatever. Yeah. I can believe that.
Yeah.
You ever heard anybody say, I'm as good as, what was that country music song? I'm as good as.
I ain't as good as I once was, but I'm as good once as I ever was.
Yeah.
He knows that by heart.
I'm as tough 30 seconds as I ever
Pardon
was.
me. That's some BS now, because I ain't as good once as I ever was. I can talk and make you believe it, but I'm not. No. Hey, change the subject.
Okay.
I meant to ask you this. I had, from watching the discussion in previous days, does that rotary phone actually work?
It works. You have to plug it in, but it rings, yeah.
Really?
And you can dial out.
How many people in your organization even know how to use it?
It's unbelievable.
Is that an old radio?
It's that's a imitation.
Oh, okay.
And the records don't work.
Oh, okay. I saw the rotary phone and I thought,
That's another change we've
It
had.
I like old stuff.
it would not shock me if Dee Burris had a rotary phone that actually worked.
It actually, if you plug it in, it'll ring.
Oh, okay.
Like the old ring.
Yeah. That's
Do
funny.
you think that
It doesn't seem like long ago we were using one of those.
Well, you had to.
do you think they'll have one more thing, do you think they'll have teleportation in the future? I mean, what's going to happen? When we were growing up, we didn't have phones. cell phones. Now we got cell phones and internet. You
We're
think
basi-
they'll teleport people?
I don't know about that. We're basically at the Jetsons now without the flying cars.
Do you know that the Jetsons were set in this year? No, let's see. I believe that's right.
You know, they had a robot made.
And, robot,
Right.
and we're going to have that.
We've got the
Tesla.
little Roombas now that go.
With Tesla. We're going to have robots with Tesla.
Yeah. They had video. They had video calls.
Video, which we got.
We got Facebook. Like I said,
And we got 3D printing.
we have
for
everything.
food.
We have everything except the flying car. No.
So what's next?
In technology,
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell you this. There's one thing that I got a prediction for you.
Okay.
The thing that may very well take a lot of stuff down is this upcoming AI.
It's going to be big.
I think it has the potential to shut down a lot of stuff.
I think they're going to have robots that move like people with skin that looks like, and they're going to have AI in them, and we're all going to have our own personal robot with us. And I think that's going to be within 2 years.
Really.
I believe it's going to be
My
way
point-
faster.
My thing with AI is like just a couple of days ago, a lot of the nation got shut down because of somebody did something
yeah.
with
Somebody unplugged it like on
internet,
an airplane.
and they reset.
Remember
It
that guy?
shut down.
Remember that guy on the airplane unplugged the.
I'm not ready for a robot yet. I just bought a new truck and barely drive it. Got a cell phone 2 years ago.
I've had mine for a year. There's still
Smartphone.
stuff I don't know how to operate
Yeah.
in my new
And
F-150.
if you buy a cheap vehicle, they've got the same programs on it.
Yeah, the AI I'm talking about, I believe, you know, this internet glitch that just stranded people at airports. But there's people like stranded for 2 or 3 days. I believe that the AI stuff has the potential to grow and grow and grow and grow until certain things. You take an auto manufacturing plant, or what is it, Whirlpool out there, that a place like that one morning you could show up and they go,
We got
no,
some.
we can't work today, we're shut down. You know, you
Or
figure
what happens when they get? You've seen these robots on the internet flipping hamburgers and stuff.
yeah, they can come up with a robot to do anything
Yeah,
now.
it's so they're just not going to need people like our grandparents had 15 kids to work. They're not going to need that. It's just going to be where you.
Well, there's a definite need in certain jobs now because you can't find anybody to work.
And why would you do it when you can buy
A robot don't call in sick. Right? A robot
Yeah, and
don't
it
call
can be
in sick.
equipped with AI, which is basically Google, and say, "Is it going to rain today, Fred?" No, it's a chance of cloudy, and it's going to move in about
Yeah.
5 o'clock.
Already got them doing surgeries. I guess they can flip a hamburger.
Oh, I've seen them on the internet playing basketball.
Yeah,
Oh, wow.
yeah,
That's what's going to happen the next 3 years.
yeah. That's your official prediction. 3
That's
years.
my official prediction.
Okay.
If you have any money, put it in these robot stocks.
Make a note of that, Randy, for us
He said if you had any.
dumb common people.
Well, guys, it's been fun.
This has been a blast.
Tom, it's been good to see
I'm going to
you.
go home and watch the Tour de France.
Are you?
Yeah. It's the final night. This is time trial.
Oh, is this it?
Yeah. They got this one guy, Percacha. He's won 5 stages. And he's the best thing since Eddie Merckx.
Really?
I mean, he's something to see. And he's like 6 minutes ahead of everybody. And tonight's the time trials, but Venegode is the guy that won the Tour de France the last 2 years, but he had a wreck in April, so he's in bad shape, but he's just behind the guy. So anything could happen tonight. It's already happened today, so I've been avoiding the internet. So
Okay.
I'm gonna go home tonight.
Oh, so you're going to catch the replay.
I'm gonna fry up some bacon.
3 pounds.
I've got a lot of bacon.
You ever eat pickle loaf?
Pickle. Yeah.
Your pickle loaf sandwich?
Yeah.
Or olive loaf?
Yeah.
Yeah,
All that.
Yeah.
Bologna.
I love bologna. It's thick.
Before I went on the diet, I was doing a sandwich of fried bologna and scrambled egg and cheese. Extra fat, extra cholesterol, please.
Are we talking about cheese now?
We're talking about it was good.
Didn't you feel better then or better now?
I feel better since I've dropped 30 pounds. I can tell a difference.
Can you tell a difference since you dropped some?
You know, I felt better before, I think.
Did you really?
Yeah, but a lot of what I had to lose, though, I think was, I lost some fat and I lost some muscle, but I don't feel any better after losing. Maybe a tad, but
Not enough to make a difference.
no, I actually got so weak. When I got down to 174 pounds, I was so weak, I thought I'm going to
You
start
got to
eating again.
174?
Yeah, I did.
Good
and I
Lord.
felt terrible.
What do you
I
weigh?
was trying to put a piece of Advantech
Well,
in the
I've
truck,
been right,
and
if I'm in the winter I weigh 156 and in the summer I weigh 147, 146. If I'm at my fighting
he
weight.
wanted to put
I
rocks in his
I
pocket.
don't even remember weighing that little bit.
But I'm all
That's-
muscle.
I'm not. I am absolutely not.
Might as well make it up, right?
Good God. I don't even recall in my life weighing 150 something.
Or when you were in diapers.
I was like that, but still.
Did your brother run for mayor? Didn't he run for mayor?
Yeah, he ran for
He did,
city
didn't
mayor.
City mayor, yeah. Did he do pretty good?
He got a few votes. He ran for that.
Is it Tony?
Yeah,
Ran-
Tony.
yeah.
Because he decided, and God bless him, and rightfully so, that nobody should be running unopposed.
I agree with it. No matter who the best person is, somebody should always run.
And nothing against Mayor Tom Rowland. And to Tony, matter of fact, on election night, Mrs. Rowland told me and my brother Tim, she said, we never heard that he ever said one cross word about Mayor Rowland.
No,
I said, well, that's not his style. He was just, he said nobody should ever run unopposed. That is, that's a whole different level of discussion of politicians and people running unopposed. See, I always thought, like myself, I couldn't hold a public office because I never know what my schedule is going to be from one day to the next.
You couldn't run for office, you didn't have time.
I mean, there's days that I would have plenty of time, and there's days that I would not be available.
Yeah.
But there's plenty of people that could run. People should be, in my opinion, should be way more concerned about their local elections than the presidential election.
Yeah, because we can affect this.
The county commission of Bradley County can have a direct effect on your life or on your life. This is where we live. They can come up with a policy, a law that directly affects you. A lot of stuff that a president does your day-to-day don't change. It can change how much taxes you pay and stuff like that. But in the day-to-day life, it was pretty much the same under, you think back, start at Bill Clinton.
Everything's been about
and
the
then
same.
George Bush and then Obama. Your taxes change, things change some, but you very rarely get a president elected where your whole life goes upside down. Your local politicians can make your life go upside down.
Yeah.
Right? They're doing things that affect our community and you directly. Yet people are way, way, way less concerned about local elections than they are nationally. Everybody gets on Facebook tore up about the presidential election or some senator. And they don't.
And it really doesn't affect us that much. It may affect us in 10 years.
Not in your day-to-day, no. You should be paying attention to what your county commission is doing. You should be paying attention to what your county mayor, your local government, the things that affect you.
It's hard to do that now without the newspaper.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
Hey, let's have another good 10 years.
Let's do
20
it.
years.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Thanks.
I really enjoyed it, man. Good to see you.